Hey there again and welcome back. I'm assuming that you've followed the exercises and the assignments from video 1 and that you paid attention to it carefully. If you haven't, actually stop this video. I want you to go back and I want you to watch video 1 first because that's the foundational information that's going to help you take these steps, apply it in your business, and get the results that you want. The purpose of this video is to teach you core commitment number 1, which is to help you get all in your business. Now, there's a few different aspects of being all in, and we're going to talk about what that means, what it really is, and we're also going to talk about the exclusive kind of all-in atmosphere and the all-in club that we've got here in Empower Network. But there's a few things that we need to do first, and there's a few things I need to help you with, right? Number 1, before any of this is going to work, before any of these 8 steps are going to work, before any of the formula I shared in video 1 is going to work, you need to get clear on your outcome. So I'm going to help you get clear on your outcome. Number 2 thing that you need to be able to tap into your internal motivational resources and be able to aim that towards what you want. Most people kind of go through life crippled with their emotional resources. What I mean is this: they're either running from something or they're running towards something that's not really motivating them enough to push with all of their energy. They don't really know why they're doing something. They're just kind of unconsciously acting. All right, what I want to do is I want to help you tap into what I call your core desires to be able to aim that towards hitting your goals. I promise you, if you're able to tap into your core desires and you get all in, you can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve in this business. The third thing I need to aim your mind to do is how to direct your financial resources towards being all in and what that really means to you and what steps you really need to take in your business to get the results that you want. So let's start with clarity, all right? So here's what we're going to do to start. I've told you about my vision. I've told you about how I want to create $100 million earners a year here at Empower Network, symbolized by this ring that I'm always talking about. And you say, Dave, why are you always talking about that ring? Because I'm hoping I could produce like a golem type desire inside of you where you wake up thinking about the ring and you drive to work thinking about the ring if you still have a job. And if you don't have a job and you're only doing this, you just kind of think about the ring all day and you aim your mind and your resources at becoming $1 million earner because I believe you can do it and I believe you deserve it. Now, before I continue, obviously see our income disclosure, empowernetwork.com/income. It's on every single page on our site and the footer links as well. You can just click on it. I'm not guaranteeing income. I'm just providing different parts of a formula that have worked for me. Does it make sense to you? All right, so let's go talk about your outcome. Let's talk about your goals. Now, I'm going to walk you through a series of strange exercises. And I want you to pause the video if you need to pause it to be able to complete the exercises because I'm going to say a lot. I'm going to say it fast. And you need to do it. You can't just watch it. You need to do it. All right? Remember how I talked about the ego in the first video? Some people, they got this big old ego and they don't do what I tell them to do. All right? If you want results, you need to follow through on the exercises. So part number 1 of the exercise is I want you to get clear on what it is that you want to achieve here specifically and by when. And what I mean by that is this. I want to make $10,000 a month by X date. Okay, I want to get $1 million ring by X date. I want you to be specific about what you want, okay? Specific about what you want, all right? And then I want you to time date it, pause the video and do that now, and then go ahead and hit play. I'm assuming that you've done the exercise. If you haven't done the exercise, excuse me, pause the video now and do the exercise. All right, now you better have a clear outcome of what it is that you want because this is going to be important towards doing this and none of this is going to work if you don't do it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to imagine yourself with me, okay, in that goal, having accomplished it already and what that would look like and what that would feel like and how that would be, how you would hold that in your mind. And here's what I mean. See, when you've accomplished a goal, let's say your goal is to get $1 million ring, okay? It's not just being a millionaire, all right? There's something that you're going to do that's going to actually be the action when you've accomplished that goal. In our case, it might be walking on the stage, having everybody in the audience cheer in the background. As you're standing there, you extend your finger and you feel the platinum 250 diamond Empower Network $1 million ring slip on your finger, and you feel the way that you're feeling, and you see the audience out there, and you know that you've accomplished your goal. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. Just close your eyes here just for a second. I'll go ahead and do it with you so it's not weird, all right? And I want you to visualize your goal, okay? I want you to see your goal. I want you to visualize yourself having accomplished it already. Maybe it's in front of the computer looking at commission email. Maybe it's on stage getting a ring, all right? I want you to see the sights in your environment around you. Breathe the way that you'd be breathing having accomplished the goal. I want you to feel what it feels like standing in this goal or sitting in this goal or being in this goal, knowing that you did what it takes and you deserve to accomplish this goal. I want you to see the different colors in the room. I want you to feel how the weight feels in your body. I want you to feel the emotion that you feel. I want you to turn that emotion up, turn the colors up, and feel the feelings inside of having reached your outcome. Now open your eyes. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to create a symbol from this goal to represent it, because this is important for the next exercise, which is tapping into your motivation. All right, and here's what you're going to do. Your unconscious mind works with symbols really, really, really fast. So does your conscious mind. It's something that's universally understood. And what I mean by that is that, something that's easy for you to continue to visualize, something that's easier for you to understand than seeing a whole goal with thousands of people and people cheering and tons of rings and things, is a symbol. So I want you to take a symbol from what you just saw, okay, knowing that you've accomplished your outcome, and I want you to visualize that symbol with me now, because that's leading into the next exercise. So for me, I use, again, the ring. So here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and close your eyes again, and I want you to, on the count of 3, allow your mind to form a symbol. 1, 2, 3. Form a symbol for the goal. It could be an image of the ring. It could be something else from the environment that you saw, and I want you to project that symbol in front of you and make it 3-dimensional. And I want you to make that bigger. See nothing else but that symbol. If it's the ring, make the ring bigger. See the blue Empower Network symbol on it. See the diamonds on it. Feel them glittering. I want you to blow up the size and the colors of that symbol. And as you're staring at it, retain that feeling, knowing you've accomplished your goal. As you're staring into the symbol, make it more clear, make it more bright. Open your eyes. All right, so that's step 2. We've got a symbol for your goal. Now what I'm going to walk you through is I'm going to walk you through a motivational exercise to tap into the real reason why you're doing this, and you're going to be amazed at how fast this is going to work. And if you need to pause this at any time to take a little bit more time because I'm going to talk fast, you're welcome to pause it, because I'm trying to keep this video to 10 to 15 minutes. All right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a symbol, and then we are going to do a request to your unconscious mind, to your inner self, to come up with the reason why that symbol's there. In other words, when you've accomplished that outcome, what's that going to give you that you don't have now? See, it's not just about having things. It's not just about having $1 million. What does that represent to you? Why are you motivated to do that? Does that make sense? So what's going to happen is, as I'm asking these questions, we're going to go ahead and walk through that exercise, and you're going to see new symbols form in your mind. Now, some of you are like, I can't visualize that well. That's fine if you can't visualize that well. What's happening unconsciously is more important. A name could appear in your mind for the symbol as well. What's important is you're unconsciously seeing it. And you could be consciously seeing it as well. That's fine. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to close your eyes. I want you to pull that symbol up, make it bright, make it 3-dimensional. Now, staring at that symbol, retaining those feelings, I want you to ask the question, well, you're feeling how good it feels accomplishing their goal. When I have this goal, when I have this outcome, what does this give me that I don't have now? And the count of 3, allow a new symbol to form. 1, 2, 3, allow a new symbol to form. Okay? Now, what happened? Now, you might need to pause the video and just allow something to come up. Now, for me, I've got a son, okay? He's like 3 months old. So for me, an image of my son came up. That's really common for parents, because the real reason why you might be doing this is maybe to provide a future for your kids. There's always unconscious drivers on why you're doing what you're doing. See, my son is a lot more motivating than $1 million ring. Does that make sense to you? Because he's my son, he's my flesh and blood, he's part of the purpose why I'm here, all right? So that's really interesting to me, but also, what is it for you, right? I want you to just jot down on a piece of paper what it is that it's going to get you when you accomplish your outcome. Now go ahead, I want you to close your eyes again and just see that symbol. See an image of, whatever it was, right? So for me, it's my son, and then ask yourself, when you have accomplished this core desire, what's that going to give you that is a part of your higher purpose, okay? Or what's that going to give you that you don't have now? 1, 2, 3, allow a new symbol to form. Now for me, I see, these are really common if you see me do a lot of videos like this, but they're just common things. I see an image of a dove popped into my mind, right? Now why is that? That's like a symbol internally. I have kind of like a sound pop up in my head, and I see the image of peace, right? For me, I feel peace when I know I'm providing for my family, right? So that's something that's important to me. All right. Now watch this, close your eyes again. Now again, pause the video. If you need to pause the video and you need to take a little bit more time to do the exercise, it's fine, right? I'm just talking fast to get this done in a short period of time. And a lot of people, you're gonna find you just go through it just like that. Close your eyes again. I want you to see this image. I want you to see whatever it was, the symbol that came up in your mind, right? So I'm seeing this big, bright, three-dimensional. Turn the colors up on it, make it more bright. Feel how it's gonna feel to have that feeling that you're experiencing now. And 1, 2, 3, allow a new symbol to form that represents the higher purpose behind what it is that you've just seen. So in other words, allow a symbol to form and ask yourself the question, when I accomplish this outcome, when I have this piece, what's that going to give me that I don't have now? All right? Now what popped into your mind? Right? Now for me, what popped into my mind is an image of rings, which represents commitment. Okay? Commitment to your family could be. It could be commitment to your future. It could be some other kind of driver inside, right? But allow an image to form, and this is important to walk through the exercise, all right? Now, I'm going to walk through this again, right? Now, take that image and just project it out in front of you and see that image. So for me, I'm seeing these big old rings out there, right? I see these rings, make them brighter, make them bigger, make them more three-dimensional, right? And I want you to just feel the way that it feels to walk in that emotion, walk in that energy, walk in that purpose, right? I want you to see it in front of you. Go ahead and close your eyes here just for a second with me. And I want you to ask the question, when I have this emotion, energy, when I have this driver, what's that going to get for me that I don't have now? 1, 2, 3, allow a new symbol to form, right? All right, open your eyes. Now, what was it for you? See, for me, I went right to my purpose, my spiritual purpose, right? Which to me is to help transform people. All right, now you may need to do this a few more times. Here's what you're looking for. What you're looking for is when you see it, when you feel it, what kind of just like makes your, the hair in your arms stand up? Or what is it that makes it so you're like, that's right, that's it. You feel a little bit of emotional shift inside, right? Because it's important for the exercise. So for me, I've got it. If you need to do this a few more times, you can do it a few more times, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to see that symbol in front of you. I want you to see the colors in vivid, bright detail and make it bigger, right? Go ahead with your eyes open, with your eyes closed, it doesn't matter. Make it bigger, right? So I'm seeing this big symbol that represents my spirit, right? Make it bigger. I want you to make it brighter. I want you to make it more powerful. I want you to feel how it feels to look through it. And now I want you to step into that symbol, allow it to come inside of you, and through that symbol, feeling the way that you're feeling, being tapped into your real core desire, now look through your other sources of motivation towards your outcome through those eyes, right? So for me, I'm stepped into that symbol and I'm looking through the images of the dove and my child into the image of the ring, right? See, by stepping into your purpose, or whatever it is, you can have that outcome and you're going to be motivated towards it. That's going to pull you. Does that make sense? Hold it in your mind, close your eyes, and I want you to make a commitment that you are going to be all in emotionally. You're going to be all in internally, and you're going to do whatever it takes to accomplish your outcome. Right? So that's step one, tapping into your emotional resources. You may need to go through that a few times, but you'll know when you've done what it is that I'm talking about. Okay? Now let's go and let's talk about what it really is to be all in, okay, in Empower Network, because it's a little bit different, right? Well, there's a few steps in it. Number one, you need to own all the core products to be kind of in the all-in club at Empower Network. I'm going to talk about what the core products are. I actually got them listed here over behind me. Number two thing is you need a ticket to the next event. You're not all in if you don't have a ticket to the next event, right? Number three thing is you need to commit to your vision. So let's walk through those one by one, and I'm going to go walk through these really fast in this video because we're going to be talking about these concepts bit by bit in the future videos. And once again, I want to get through this series fast, right? So here are our core products at Empower Network. We've got other products. They're not required to be all in. These are the core ones. We've got the blog. These all serve a different purpose. All right, we're going to talk about the blog actually in the next video, all right? Number two, you might actually own the blog already. We've got the Inner Circle. Now, the Inner Circle is a different product than the blog. Specifically, it's there to teach you in your downtime. It's a really important product, and we're going to talk about it again in the future videos, but if you don't have it, buy the Inner Circle. Number three, we've got the Costa Rica Intensive. This is a product that really teaches you about team building, okay? We made this product actually before Empower Network existed, and half of the people that were in the room in that product are now six-figure earners. Some of them in Empower, some of them in other things. 15K formula. Okay, 15K Formula is our tactical product that we've got here at Empower Network. If you want to learn solo ads, if you want to learn marketing strategies, you need the 15K Formula. Just make a decision to buy it. And then we've got the Master's Course. Master's Course is a principle-based mastery training, right? And I kind of liken it like this. I take martial arts. Every morning I have this Kung Fu Sifu. He comes to my house and I do martial arts with him, right? Well, martial arts that I take are principle-based, meaning that everything that we do is controlled and governed by principles, right? A principle is just like some kind of a permanent concept that sort of rules an aspect of the universe, all right? So the Master's Course, what it's really about is teaching you to be a master in your business. For those of you that really want to progress and go into the future, to be all in, you got to have the Master's Course. So this is what it takes. Number one, you got to have our core products. Number two, you got to have a ticket to our next event. Why do you got to have a ticket to our next event? Because we know from a long time of doing this, if you're not committed to going to the next event, whenever that is, whenever the next one is, I don't care if it's a week from now, I don't care if it's a month from now, I don't care if it's 3 months from now, I don't care if it's tomorrow, you need to get a ticket to our next event and get there. It will transform your life. You think these videos are transformational? The events are 100,000 times more transformational. I'm going to talk about that in the 8th core step, okay? That's what's required. Number three, commitment. What does commitment really mean? Well, there's a difference between kind of wanting something and trying it out and doing it. I talked about that in the first video. Here's what I want to do though for a second. What is a good symbol for you for commitment? Right? For me, a good symbol for commitment is rings. Right? Why? Because that's representative of relationships and things like that, things that you need to commit to for the rest of your life, right? When you're going to do this business, I'm not talking about committing to Empower, although I am. What I'm talking about is committing to your vision, right? Committing to your vision, committing that you're going to do whatever it takes, committing that you're going to be all in emotionally, all in spiritually, all in with your resources, all in financially, committing that you are going to do it and you're going to take that step. Let me talk about some reasons why you should get all in and why that has to do with your outcome just for a second here, and I'm going to be brief. All right. Number one reason why you should get all in. Because your team's going to do what you do. Your customers are going to do what you do. They're not going to do what you tell them to do. They're going to do what you do. If you are not willing to get all in, they're not going to be willing to get all in. And I learned this actually back in 2006 when I got into business and I didn't get all in. I couldn't bring anybody in and get them to buy any product that I didn't have. I called my upline, as they call it in network marketing. I said, I can't get anybody to buy this $1,000 package. And she says, do you own it, Dave? And I said, oh, shit, right? Because I didn't, right? Well, she said, I'm going to do you a favor, Dave, since I just checked and you actually don't own this. You're bullshitting people. So she said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hang up the phone and you can't ever talk to me again unless you buy it. Now, I didn't have money, but I figured out a way to come up with it. And then I went and I bought that product, right? The very next day, I sold one. Why? Well, it's because of something else that I'm going to talk about here in a second. The second thing that is a real reason why you want to get all in is because you want to be a product of the product, right? You want to be demonstrating out here the changes that we're talking about in our products, to demonstrating the principles of team building. You want to be going out there in your marketing and getting results, because what really is going to sell in your business, it's going to be your commitment, and number one, and then number two, the results that you've gotten. Well, if you don't take a product and apply it in your life and apply it in your business and get results, you don't have any results to sell with. So you're not going to be able to say, I took this module in the 15K formula, I applied it in my business, I got 100 leads, and then I made some sales. You're not going to be able to say that if you don't buy the product, right? Does that make sense? You want to be a product of the product. Okay? Number three, there's an unconscious mechanism that's a decision mechanism, right? That most people aren't aware of. You see, when you get in a business and you don't commit to be all in the business, here's what happens. What you're really telling your unconscious mind is you're saying, I'm not going to make this work. And you're saying, I don't believe it's going to work, right? And just try to succeed at anything if that's what's happening. You can't. Because your unconscious mind is controlling all the little things that are happening in your life that you're unaware of. Right? And if those things are preventing you from accomplishing your dreams and goals with the conscious things you're doing, you're going to be like all out of whack and you're never going to reach your outcomes and you're never going to reach your goals. When you make a commitment to put out there and say, this is it, I'm doing it, I'm committed to making this happen, you're going to make it happen, and that's it, period. The next thing is, and this is the final one, is constructing financial outcomes. You're seeing this because you're an affiliate of Empower Network. Now, when you're constructing financial outcomes, what I mean is by being able to make different amounts of money. Obviously, if you can sell more products, right, you're going to make more commissions, right? And here's what you're going to find. You're going to find that just people are not going to buy what you don't have. Are you required to buy anything here? No, you're not. However, people are not going to do what you don't do. And if you don't have the master's course, or you don't have the 15K, or you don't have the Costa Rica, you're going to have a hard time making the money that you want to make because it's going to take you longer because you're going to be selling all low-end stuff in fear that it's never going to work, right? However, if you make the commitment, if you step over that line, you say, I'm going to do this no matter what, bam! Right? You have the ability to tap into all your emotional resources to make it happen because it's your time, but you got to commit. This is step one, commit to be all in your business, all right? So I'm going to tell you a story and then I'm going to tell you what to do next. You already know what to do, but let me tell you the story. There was a bear in a cage. Now this bear was taken out of the wild over in Montana. And I grew up in Alaska where there's polar bears in the mountains and stuff like that. And sometimes the bears come into town, right? And when a bear comes into town, anybody who's lived in a town like that has polar bears, or we actually had polar bears in my town occasionally, not very often. They were a little bit farther north most of the time, but sometimes they came into town. And then we had a lot of grizzlies, right? Well, when a grizzly bear comes into town, it gets really dangerous because they start getting around people, right? And if they're running in through trash, they get familiar with the smell of people, and it's only a matter of time before they'll attack someone, right? So they took this bear out of the wild because it was rummaging through town, and they put it in a cage, a 10-foot by 10-foot cage. Now you take an animal, a wild animal, it's like taking a kid, right? And it's like putting them in a room and locking the door. They just go freaking berserk, right? Any of you who got kids know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I got two, right? So they just go berserk, they go crazy, right? So this bear's like pounding on things, right? Going crazy, right? So in any case, people are really scared because they get near it, kind of swipes through. But every day at 10 o'clock, somebody comes and they deliver meat at the side of the cage. The bear swipes it, but then, right, after about 3 months, the bear realizes every day it has food, but it doesn't have to do anything anymore. It doesn't have to work. Kind of like society. It's like, just go to work, you'll get your paycheck. You stop dreaming in life, don't you, after a while, right? Well, here's what happens. So, the bear just figures out it doesn't have to do anything. So it stops fighting, right? Well, 6 months later, it stops even walking back and forth and just lays there all day. Why? Because it knows that I could just get up, I could just go get my food, right? It's going to be there at the same time every day at the edge of the cage. Stops beating the cage because he figures, hey, I'm sick of hurting my paws. I'm sick of beating my head against a wall, right? And here's what happens. One day the zookeeper looks at that bear and he's just sitting there. He's like, I bet we could take that cage off that thing and nothing would happen. And somebody says, oh no, oh God, don't do that. Because if you do that, that thing's going to go crazy. It'll eat you. I'm not be anywhere near you if you're going to try something crazy like that. And the guy says, it's just laying there all day. It never walks any further than the cage, right? So the guy says, oh, no, I won't do it. So one guy goes and he hides, and the other guy, I'm just going to try this. They wait till the zoo closes, kind of go like this. And then they go with the little cage machine and they lift the cage, right? Bear doesn't do nothing. Why? Because it was still there in his mind. Here's the interesting thing, though. They took like this little, turkey, and they walked up and put it just 5 feet outside the edge of the cage. Just far enough to where the bear couldn't swipe at it if the cage was there. Bear got up, walked to the edge of the cage where it used to be, but now it was just there in his mind, and waited. A lot of people in life are like that, They go to work, they come home, they go to work, they come home, they try something, it doesn't work, they try something else, it doesn't work, and then they're no longer willing to go for it. I'm going to tell you to go for it, to just go for it, to get all in, to be in the all-in club. We have special things at our events. It's kind of like this exclusive deal at Empower Network. All right, but here's what I'm going to tell you to do next. Number one, buy the next product before you watch the next video, right? I want you to buy the next product, whatever it is. You say, I got the blog, then buy the Inner Circle too. Number two, if you have got the blog and the Inner Circle, but you don't have the Costa Rica Intensified, I want you to buy that next product before you go to the next video. So go ahead, buy the next product, whatever it is. You got everything but the Masters, go and buy the Masters course before the next video. Buy the next product, whatever it is. I want you to buy that product because they all teach you a different thing in your business. They all serve a purpose here at Empower. These are our core products, these ones. All right? Last thing I want you to do, meet me in the next video because I'm going to start to teach you about blogging, right? Which is a lot of how you came here. So we're going to teach you how I've built my whole business, my whole empire blogging. I'm going to teach you in core commitment number 2. I'll see you in a second. Once again, go ahead and buy the next product, get your ticket to the next event, and meet me in the next video. See you in a second.
Folks, obviously the income examples discussed in this video are extraordinary. The income claims presented are not intended to serve as a guarantee of income. Instead, they're designed to give you an idea of what's possible. Success in this business requires leadership, hard work, and dedication. Since we want to help you make an informed decision, we've gone above and beyond with our income disclosure document. If you want to see the average earnings, please visit the page at www.empowernetwork.com/income.php.